Dan and Corey here, welcoming you into Libservative.
The great fundamental issue now before our people. We, the people, cannot turn back.
Yeah, welcome in to another rousing rendition of Libservative, intellectual idiots fostering political and cultural literacy, and the world's smartest internet show. Bell the Bodysnatcher on the ones and twos. He will not be on camera tonight because, well, let's just say he's a little under the weather. No, he did not have a sex change. He did not have a sex change. Something, had some work done on his
post-op.
He's post-op.
What is bigger?
Had some work done on his. Had a little work done on his sprouts. He, as always, is Corey Walsh.
He's Dan Griffin.
Yeah, nobody's tuning in right now. What a disappointment. What did I put in the hashtags that got us shadow banned this time? That's okay. Just check out the podcast.
Thomas Massie.
Yeah, right. We have lots and lots and lots to cover. Dude, there is so much Epstein stuff. It is impossible for us to ever cover everything that comes out within a 2-hour span. We'll get to some of that stuff. We got some interesting polling about millennials and Gen Z. And we have the interesting phenomenon. I'm pretty sure that nobody loves the Super Bowl more than politicians and more than the people that control the world, because it is the perfect opportunity for them to pivot to a culture war. And they did exactly that with these unbelievably ridiculous halftime shows. And Thomas Massie just absolutely rolling over Pam Bondi during her testimony to it was the Judiciary Committee, correct about the Epstein files.
Yeah.
Don't you ever accuse me of a crime.
I believe you just. And I don't take no orders from no woman, by the way.
That's actual audio from Thomas Massie. Where do we want to start here, Corey? Should we start with the? Should we just jump into this? Should we just jump into Thomas?
Yeah, we're
Massie?
like, just gotta, yeah. Hey, I donated to his campaign.
Are you on the right mic, by the way?
I believe so. Let me check.
And I don't listen to women yelling. I tell them to shut up.
You're good. You're on the right mic. Okay. I don't know. Maybe it's just my headphones. I don't know.
Yes.
There we go. We're good to go.
Thank God.
Oh, I almost forgot. We have Bibi threatening the West as well. Can't forget to get to that at some point during the show. But Thomas Massie just absolutely bitch slapping Pam Bondi is one of the best things I've seen in a long time. It's just a shame that it was over something so heinous, because as the days go by, you have people like the Michael Tracys of the world and other contrarians still trying to push this idea that there just isn't as much pedophilia in the Epstein files as maybe was originally, I don't want to say hoped for, but speculated upon. And let's just pretend these people are right about that fact, right? Like, let's all celebrate the fact that, maybe there isn't as much open, devilish pedophilia in this stuff as maybe was originally assumed. You got to see the forest through the trees on this, because it's so much deeper than all of that. Because day after day after day, the more that gets dug into, the more Thomas Massie and Ro Khanna won't quit on this, the more we're seeing just how deeply Jeffrey Epstein had his fingers buried in the power structure of not the United States, not Israel,
to the power structure.
Yeah, but the entire globe. That is what is the most concerning thing about this, outside of the alleged pedophilia stuff.
And he really loved jerky, Dan.
Do I?
No, Jeffrey Epstein did.
And pizza and grape soda.
He really loved jerky, and he kept his jerky in a deep freezer.
That's not necessary.
Yeah. Yeah, jerky is not necessary to keep in a deep freezer, but if his assistant seemed very concerned that he had enough jerky.
How about we all come together and say, let's stop attacking pedophiles?
We're not going to do that, Senator Cruz.
And I don't take no orders from the woman, by the way.
Just the open DOJ lies. Bell's got the first video queued up. We'll get to that in a second. But 4 co-conspirators found by Thomas Massie and Ro Khanna in about 2 hours of reviewing the unredacted files that they pushed for. They sat down, they had a look. It took about 2 hours for them to find.
And Big Brother was watching the whole time.
Sure. 4 co-conspirators. And it's a situation where we're getting into this space of sort of like who's watching the watchers, because at this point it's Pam Bondi and the DOJ who are the watchers. So who's watching the watchers? It's essentially just Thomas Massie and Ro Khanna. They uncovered Les Wexner's name being redacted in spots where it shouldn't have been redacted. It's in the files, and Pam Bondi's going to tell you this. His name is in the files. What did she say? Like 400 times or something like that. But it was conveniently redacted in a spot that would point Les Wexner out to be a co-conspirator with Jeffrey Epstein. And if you're wondering who Les Wexner is, it was the big honcho at Victoria's Secret, which is super fucking creepy in a lot of different ways. Who doesn't know women in their life that wear some form of Victoria's Secret garment? And then you also had Ahmed bin Sulayem. I don't know how to say his name. Who was the...
Let me take a crack at it, Dan. Ahmed bin Sulayem. Yeah, we nailed it.
Who was the sender of the infamous torture video where you see the email of Jeffrey Epstein saying, "Where are you? Are you okay? I loved the torture video," which is just a weird email. All 3 sentences are just a weird thing to email to somebody. And he's the CEO of DP World in Dubai. So Mr. Sulayem basically controls ports around the UAE and international trade. So again, just more that we're seeing of Jeffrey Epstein having his fingers in all of these power structures across the globe. And I think Sagar and Jetty made a pretty good point this week on one of the Breaking Points episodes, where as we see more of these emails come out, Jeffrey Epstein does not appear to be a very brilliant guy. I mean, we made fun of him last week when he misspelled basically every name and everything when he was talking to Ehud Barak on that message that was released. He's not a super brilliant guy. What he is really, really good at, what it seems to be, is laundering money. He's just the world's greatest money launderer, maybe of all time, and got his feet into the circles of a lot of these global power brokers. Shall we get to Pam Bondi? Unless, do you have anything to add to that, Corey?
I don't like watching. Like I didn't watch the whole thing, but I watched a lot of the interactions. I spent a lot of time watching. You know, and I feel like there was a lot of fluff in between. I saw like all the highlights. Like when you go and you watch a comprehensive like highlight compilation from a game you didn't catch the night before. You know, I had to work. I am one of them blue-haired Democrats sitting in a basement.
Well, yeah, brother.
And I don't take no orders from no woman, by the way.
Exactly. So like, but like I saw like Raskin, I saw Massie, I saw Lee, I saw I forget the one girl's name. I saw Jasmine Crockett, which was like, oh wow, actually kind of agree with her. Like they're like all these ones who everyone gets caricaturized and like shit on because they're one side or the other side of the party, depending on what side of the aisle you're on. This is causing a lot of unity. And Ro Khanna, like I was picturing this the other day, right? Just I'm sitting there and I'm picturing like, remember the end of the movie American Gangster when the prosecutor and the gangster are working together and you see them building this friendship, you know, and they're like laughing together and then he ends up picking him up from jail afterwards. I picture Ro Khanna and Thomas Massie like sitting there and like just creating this great bond of a friendship over this stuff, like sitting next to each other on these computers going, wow, did you see this? Oh, wow, check this out. I don't know. I just thought it was like just a funny imagery in my head. Like I see a movie being made about it, right? But
they're cheating, they're crooked, they're corrupt.
Yeah, Pam Bondi made a fool of herself. She went in there with her little burn book, you know, to give like fucking Michael Scott from The Office. Roasted, boom, roasted, boom, roasted. Like she thought she was gonna be in there just roasting everybody, but it fell flat, dude. It was like a fucking fifth grade fucking choir trying to sing Caroling of the Bells. And it just
the thing?
sounded like cats in a trash can.
Isn't that the thing about Trump's administration, though? When anybody except Trump tries to go out and be Trump, it always falls so flat.
Oh yeah, none of them
can't
can
do it as well as he does.
What he does, and that's the most important, most fucking annoying part because he's got all these little henchmen around him trying to just mimic him like they're fucking minions, and it just annoys everybody.
Seriously overweight.
Trump is the best thing that can happen to Democrats because it lowers the bar so goddamn much that we always get like obviously there's no metric to actually measure this on, but it just makes it so easy for any run-of-the-mill. It doesn't matter what the Democrat is running on, could be someone who's like strictly just bought and paid for by JP Morgan, like some of the shittiest Democrats, to be able to run because they don't have to talk about their policy or any of their vision for the country. They could just go, I don't like Trump. And everyone's like, yeah, we're going to vote for him. And it's, and you get all these fucking buffoons in there trying to mimic what Trump does. And it's just fucking annoying. But like,
the only problem is I can't understand the word you're saying.
Look at the restraint Jim Jordan had during this. Now, if you remember Jim Jordan during like the impeachment hearings and Jim Jordan during these other hearings with like Fauci and like, he was like a chihuahua, just yap, 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 just yap, yap, yap. And I know that he's the chair now. He's moved up a little bit in the little ring. And I know he probably ain't got a lot to say because he kind of looked out for a pedophile at OSU. But but he has a lot of restraint in this. I think the only reason he's not piping up about it is for the sake of his mega voters.
Yeah, it's for
but
his
like
own,
he seems like he's
his
even
own
like
ass.
his lack of energy, his lack of outspokenness when that's his character about just trying to nail Democrats about this. And I guess we'll see what happens when Clinton and Hillary show up. But
well, Pam Bondi brings that up too, and we have that's one of the videos we're gonna have Belle play. But she does this thing where she tries to deflect to like, well, why didn't the Biden administration do anything about this, or why didn't the Obama or the Bush administration do anything about this? And Thomas Massie is just basically like, ma'am, your terms are acceptable. Like, of course we want to hold.
Like, I'm glad you mentioned that.
Yeah, you're sitting here right now as the head of the Department of Justice for this administration.
It's like we're asking the same question. Pam Bondi. We're glad that you brought that up. Everybody's asking the same question. Why wasn't this looked into more?
And I don't listen to women yelling. I tell them to shut up.
When he got the sweetheart deal with the Costa in Florida. What about, like, why wasn't this looked into when all of these different reports that ended up being called uncorroborated under Clinton's FBI? Now, and that's what fucking kills me is all these Trump supporters, they'd be so quick to like in any other circumstance say that Clinton's FBI was corrupt. But now all of a sudden they trust the FBI's word that these were uncorroborated fucking reports or like discredited reports. And now all of a sudden, because it's Kash Patel and Trump's FBI, that they could trust the FBI.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, we didn't. we just never trusted the FBI. But it's just insane how it's all of a sudden, just changing one CEO at the top of a business is going to completely change the business culture overnight. Like, it's just fucking insane. Just the backbending and the fucking hoops people are jumping through and the goalposts being moved. Like right now with that fucking email or that thing that's like, whoa, look at this. Bet you Democrats didn't expect this to happen. There was a call to the FBI by Trump saying, thank God you got this guy. Bet you Democrats didn't expect that. Now they're reeling and they're scrambling and trying to figure out how to twist this one because the FBI or because Trump called the fucking chief of police in Palm Beach or wherever the fuck it was. But then they're ignoring all the other emails. And it's like, so this email in the same batch you're trusting, but you're not trusting the rest of them.
And that's what's so interesting about this, because if you really look at just,
Daddy, you're my daddy.
If you look at just like, Johnny American, right? Your next door neighbor, right? I get the sense that nobody's falling for this bullshit, right? This is a scenario where you have Democrats and MAGA, I guess, and Republicans that are trying to, as you said, with Jim Jordan, keep their sort of MAGA base. They just keep going back and forth and trying to kick this Epstein thing as if it's a political football back and forth to like make one side or the other take all of the blame. And I'm actually pretty proud with a lot of my fellow Americans, because a lot of us are, it's so easy to see the forest through the trees on this one, because it's just, it's so obvious that it goes, the cover up goes, definitely goes deeper than just the Trump administration. Yeah. Most people know that. A lot of people who would vote blue no matter who obviously know that. And there are a lot of Republican voters who know that as well. They're not fooling anybody with this nonsense of who's to blame or who's not to. Like, you're all to blame. This idea that we talk about on this show all the time of Republicans not being your enemy and Democrats not being your enemy and the government being your enemy. It's slow and it's tough, but more and more people day by day are steadily getting to that point, as is clear with this Gallup poll that we're going to go over here in a little bit about millennials and Gen Zers and their affiliation as independents. 50% of millennials and Gen Zers are over 50% are identifying as independents. Now, they still will identify themselves as, Now, they still will identify themselves as being either conservative or liberal, but they're at least not falling into these two idiotic party cult buckets. Bell, go ahead and roll the first Massie video we got up on the screen there, because I think this is the long one, and I think this is the best one.
Are you able to track who in your organization made this massive failure and released the victims' names? Are you able to track who it was that obscured Les Wexner's name as a co-conspirator in an FBI document? Do you have that kind of accountability?
I believe Wexner's name was listed more than 4,000 times.
Yeah, I already told you that. This is where he's listed as a co-conspirator.
Finish my answer. Come on, let me finish my answer. We corrected that within 40 minutes. He was already, you're acting like everybody's trying to cover up Wexner's name.
I don't listen to women yelling. I tell them to shut up.
Reclaiming my time.
He was,
Mr. Chairman.
how this works.
Can I have my time?
Mr. Chairman, the gentlelady can give her answer. The time belongs to the gentleman from.
All right, I'm reclaiming my time.
Can I give my answer?
So I'm going to put the language of the bill up on the screen.
Chairman, may I give my answer on that? It's a political joke, and I need to give my answer
on that.
We'll let the Attorney General respond, and then the gentleman can move to the next question.
It's my time.
Within 40 minutes, you asked me a question.
Go Bills.
40 minutes. Wexner's name was
Schumer's
added
there.
back.
Within 40 minutes, I'm catching you red-handed.
There was one redaction out
Where
of
he's
over
listed as a
4,700,
co-conspirator.
and we invited you in.
Gentlemen,
This guy has Trump derangement syndrome. He needs to get, you're a failed politician.
Chairman, please restore his time and remind the witness of the rules here.
There is no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday that he trafficked to other individuals.
This is Cash Patel from
Is
earlier.
that your position as well?
My position is any victim who comes forward, of course, we would love to hear from them. 1-800-CALL-FBI.
Interesting.
Did you ask Merrick Garland that the last 4 years? Did you talk about Epstein?
I'm reclaiming my time. I'm glad you're asking about Merrick Garland.
You don't get to reclaim
because
time
this
when
is
you don't-
bigger than
when you-
Watergate.
when I don't answer the question the
This
way you
goes
want.
over 4 administrations. You don't have to go back to Biden. Let's go back to Obama. Let's go back to George Bush. This cover-up spans decades, and you are responsible for this portion of it.
And that's
Now,
where the
I want to know at what
transparent-
point did the FBI and the DOJ decide that Lex Wessner was not a co-conspirator? Because our Epstein Files Transparency Act requires you, please put it back on the screen, please, to release the internal decision about whether to prosecute him or not. And it's not in the files, and it's not in the files for any of these other men.
Time of the gentleman has expired.
May she answer?
And he's a hypocrite because he voted against the ban that we were talking about on deep fake AI porn. Only 2 people voted against it, and you were one of them, hypocrite.
What? Like she just crashes out the whole time.
Yeah.
Why do we look like this? Why are we in circles?
I don't know. I didn't choose that.
Anyway, she just crashes out and just deflects to, because we have the next video of her pivoting to the fucking stock market. Like she just has. Go ahead.
First, I'm gonna play this one because she said any of the survivors. How did she put it? Any of the survivors can call 1-800 or call 1-800 call FBI, and we will talk to them and have them and we would take their information so we can look into this.
Listen, I'm going to give a clue here now. I don't want any more bullshit anytime during the day.
This also happened during that same fucking
To
hearing.
the survivors in the room, if you are willing, please stand.
Did you see this one?
If you are willing, please raise your hands if you have still not been able to meet with this Department of Justice.
All of them.
Please know for the record that every single survivor has raised their hand. Attorney General Bondi, you apologized to the survivors in your opening statement for what they went through at the hands of Jeffrey Epstein. Will you turn to them now and apologize for what your Department of Justice has put them through with the absolutely unacceptable release of the Epstein files and their information?
And I don't take no orders from no woman, by the way.
Congresswoman, you sat before Merrick Garland sat in this chair twice.
Attorney General Bondi,
No, can I finish my answer?
Talking to you, bitch.
I'm going to reclaim my time because I
What a
asked you
beast.
a specific question
Attorney General
that
can
I would
respond to your
like
question.
you to answer, which is, will you turn to the survivors. This is not about anybody that came before you. It is about you taking responsibility for your Department of Justice and the harm that it has done to the survivors who are standing right behind you and are waiting for you to turn to them and apologize for what your Department of Justice has done.
Members get to ask the questions. The witness gets to answer in the way they want to answer. The Attorney General can
That's
respond.
not accurate, Mr. Chairman.
Because she doesn't like the answer. So,
Mr. Chairman,
why
I have asked.
didn't she ask Merrick Garland this?
I am
twice
reclaiming
when
my
he sat in my
time, and
chair?
when I
will
reclaim my
continue to
time,
answer.
it is
Mr. Chairman, the gentleman is
I'm
reclaiming
not
the
going
time.
to get in the gutter for her theatrics.
The time belongs to the time belongs.
But you will
to the
for your
gentlelady.
own.
The gentlelady has 17
Right.
seconds.
Fucking,
Thank
you
you.
fucking twat.
You're not going to answer this question, so let me just say
Chairman, I'll
this.
direct it to
What a
you.
massive
No, I'm
cover-up.
answering a
Mr.
question.
Chairman, will you restore her time? The witness
I'm
is
not gonna
interrupting.
get in the gutter with this woman.
Stop the
She's
time
doing
and
theatrics.
let me have my
The
time.
gentlelady from Washington controls the time.
Then
The
it kind of
gentlelady has
just goes
17
on like that. But then, oh, I don't like that at all. What's with those circles?
I fixed it. Don't worry about it.
Oh, thank
Dude,
God.
it's so simple because she goes, why didn't you ask Merrick Garland this question? I have there's a really simple answer to the question of an answer that she gave to the previous question from Pramila Jayapal, which is like the Epstein files didn't exist. Or, well, I mean, they existed, but they weren't released when Merrick Garland was sitting in that chair. Now, if you stick Merrick Garland in that chair now, yeah, I would expect even a Pramila Jayapal to ask the same question to him that he did or that she did to Pam Bondi in this situation. You know for sure Thomas Massie would, because he don't give a fuck. So it's just, why aren't you asking Merrick Garland? Because Merrick Garland's not the Attorney General right now. Why is this so hard for you, you absolute beast of a woman?
Yeah. No, then there was another guy, his name's Goldman. He also, I can find that video real quick. He also asked that the victims to stand up, and then at first
it's just theatrics.
Right. So at first, yeah. So I almost I didn't want to play this one again because it's all right, now it kind of feels like theatrics because he's making them stand up again. But then he asked them more questions and I got confused. I thought it was the other one.
Ask them if that's true. Now, would the survivors and victims who are here please stand up one more time? Just by show of hands, how many of you or your loved ones actually have met with the Department of Justice and provided testimony and estimate and evidence? None. And of those of you who have not met, which is everyone, how many of you have reached out either individually or through a lawyer or representative to offer to provide testimony and evidence? All of them. And of those all of you who have
one random dude
were denied or ignored by the Department of Justice. All of them. And despite the shameful and despicable efforts by Ms. Bondi and her department to intimidate you, how many of you are still willing to speak to the Department of Justice? All of them. Well, Ms. Bondi, it looks like you have some more witnesses.
Gentleman's time has expired.
The biggest load that we've
We will
seen.
go to the good gentleman from North Carolina, Congressman.
Yeah. So it's here they are. She's like, and they could call, we could talk to them. And it's everyone's like, well, how do you know they're not doing an investigation? Well, that right there fucking shows you that they ain't doing shit about it. They haven't even talked to any of the people that are fucking saying they're victims. There's pictures of these people with Epstein, and they're not even doing anything about it. They're just being complicit, just like the rest of the presidents. And when people are like, oh, well, how come you didn't say anything during Biden? Well, first off, when it comes to Biden, we did. My Wi-Fi has been Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself since 2019. But it's well, how come not during Obama? Or how come not during Bush? It's because we didn't fucking know, dude. How the fuck are we you can't just know an unknown. No one knew this shit was happening. And then it finally reached into the general, except for Alex Jones.
No, I'm gonna push back slightly because we didn't know, your next door neighbor didn't know, but dude, You go back to 2008 and the sweetheart deal that he got back
it was 2006.
then.
It was 2006.
Whatever.
2007. It was before Obama, yes, but
whatever. The sweetheart deal that he got back then, there were people that knew something was going on, or they pulled a Joe Paterno and decided that they didn't really actually want to know that anything was going on. Because why? Because Jeffrey Epstein is an unbelievably insider power broker for all what is looking more and more like all of planet Earth. Like even if we find out that there was zero, we know that there's no way that this is going to happen, but zero pedophilia involved. The idea that this man is still bringing women to other countries across state lines for the purposes of paying for sex is still an unbelievably illegal crime. You know, like it doesn't, like, even if you give like the best possible scenario for like the sexual weirdness that we're finding out here, look past that to the power broking that Jeffrey Epstein is clearly involved in
pedophilia
across
is
the world.
just the tip of the iceberg.
It totally is. And it's an important one. It's one that deserves.
It's the one that says, "Hey, there's a lot more here."
Yeah, like
but,
there's so much more to this than just that. And it's I've had a couple people say to me like, "Well, you know, there's nothing really pointing to Trump just yet. There's not that much really pointing to the Clintons just yet, depending on which side you want to fall on that." It's like there doesn't really need to be, because they're tattling on themselves. Like, why are you so against this? We're seeing leaders from all across the globe taking this so much more seriously than the leaders in our own fucking
more
country.
Accountability in monarchies right now than this what we're supposed to have as a democracy. That makes America a goddamn laughing stock at our justice system and our constitution and our separations of power and a government of we the people. Like, fuck you. These guys are pieces of absolute shit. I mean, kings are losing their fucking crowns, and we're over here preaching about how we don't believe in monarchies and how we're supposed to be of the people, by the people, for the people. And everyone is created equal, and justice is a one-tier system for everybody. Everyone should be held accountable. And we're over here preaching this shit, and everyone's saying, "Yes, ma'am, yes, sir," putting their hands on their hearts and saying the goddamn Pledge of Allegiance and taking their hats off during the national anthem and believing in this weird concept that we're not weird. It's bastardized and it's weird what it is now. But the idea of absolute freedom that the founding fathers decided to try to institute in our country, like by protecting our rights with the Constitution. But we can't even hold these elites power, these elites to account or to accountability. Like, they're just able to walk. Like, Dan, we're over here waking up at fucking, you wake up a little bit later than I do, but I'm over here waking up at 4:30 every goddamn morning and driving the speed limit to work and stopping at every goddamn stoplight and red light, because I know I'll be held accountable.
Good law-abiding citizen you are.
And I'm over here following these rules and doing my part, I guess, and just trying to make ends meet. And you got billionaires out there just fucking doing whatever the fuck they want.
Careful.
You're
just gonna bring the socialists out of the woodwork, and they're gonna call that capitalism.
Oh, sure. No, this isn't fucking capitalism. Capitalism is supposed to be separate from a government. This is a government using capitalism as a tool to benefit themselves and pull the fucking ladder up before anyone else can even touch it. We're all hanging on the wings like that shitty
here now. I don't want any more bullshit anytime during the day.
We're all the Afghans holding on to the fucking landing gear on that plane leaving Afghanistan when America left, and the elites are inside just making the plane take off no matter what.
How about we all come together and say, let's stop attacking pedophiles?
What's the other Pam Bondi video I have up there, Bell? You have that ready to go? I can't remember. Oh, is this the one where she crashes out and talks about the stock market? I think that's this one. What a
Don't
beast.
you ever accuse me of a crime.
I believe you just.
Go ahead and roll it, Belle.
And none of them ask Merrick Garland over the last 4 years one word about Jeffrey Epstein. How ironic is that? You know why? Because Donald Trump,
Not ironic at all.
the Dow right now is over. The Dow is over $50,000.
Checks notes.
I don't know why you're laughing. You're a great stock trader, as I hear, Raskin.
Boy, I hope
The
he's
Dow
qualified.
is over 50,000 right now. The S&P at almost 7,000.
Who's that guy?
And the NASDAQ smashing records. Americans' 401ks and retirement savings are booming. That's what we should be talking about. We should be talking about making Americans safe.
We're all broke
We
as
should
fuck.
be talking about, what does a Dow have to do with anything? That's what they just asked. Are you kidding?
Mr. Jordan, Mr. Jordan.
Committee will be.
And
Mango tear?
They're there to talk. They're there to talk about the fucking Epstein stuff, and she's bringing up the goddamn stock market, and then has the audacity to call them crazy when they're like, "What the fuck does this have to do with anything?" Because so these committee hearings are always shit shows. They're always super performative. This one is no different, including from Thomas Massie. But at least Thomas Massie is focused on the right fucking thing during this entire thing. It's just I don't even have the words, Corey. I don't even have the words to describe the callousness of Pam Bondi and this entire administration. And look, perhaps the Biden administration, Obama administration, Bush administration, and Clinton administration as well. But this is the administration that's in office right now.
This is the administration that campaigned on like making this shit right.
Very good point. Very good point. Or exposing the Epstein files. You have fucking Dan Bongino crashing out on a podcast doing fucking karate chops and shit. As Bell put it pre-show, like he's the fucking goofball from Napoleon Dynamite. And by the way, making his way to #1 on the Spotify list because everybody had to tune in to see Dan Bongino make a fucking idiot out of himself.
Yeah, a lot of people hate watched his episode.
I mean, so when this administration got elected, you can go back to our shows from back then. We weren't happy about it, but we openly admitted that we thought this would be better than the alternative. Now, you have to take that with a bit of a grain of salt because we even said it back then. The bar was remarkably low, right? Mm-hmm. It's not like we expected this administration to be an absolute fucking shit show.
And it would be essentially the same. It would be less noisy. But it'd be essentially the same. Yeah. There probably wouldn't be an Epstein release. That probably wouldn't have happened. But Maduro still would have been taken out one way or the other. Biden was setting himself up for that shit. He was saying how he was an illegitimate leader and they were a pariah. Like he was using all that terminology. The Ukraine war would have still been going on like it is now. Gaza would still be
flattened.
There'd still be a genocide going on there. All of that shit would still be happening. AI would still be going nuts. Like they did that CHIPS Act that's like helping implement all this stuff. Like that still would have been running wild. It would have been the same type of shit.
And yet you still have morons, mostly on the internet, but sometimes in real life, that still come to you with this bullshit up. Oh, yeah, but
yeah.
You know, this party's bad, but oh man, is the other party so much worse.
We wouldn't have seen ICE act the way it was, but that they were ramping their operation up to, and now Tom Homan, who was the Department of Homeland Security, I think it was either that or Border Patrol under Obama. You see how he's winding down Minneapolis now that he's back in charge. He's going to run it the same way he did as Obama. He's going to get
nice and
quiet, and he's going to get
that's the way it should be done.
He's going to get a lot of big numbers, just like Obama did, because Trump still, I don't think, has reached his numbers. Like none of this would have been different. It would have just been
quieter. Yeah. And we've said this. We appreciate that about this administration. We like that they're loud about it. Like that's the one thing Trump does better. That's the one thing that makes you. I don't want to use the word. I don't know about appreciate, but a word like that, Trump a little bit more than any of these other previous administrations, because we get the quiet part out loud. We get the quiet part out loud all the time. Now, if we reverse this, say Biden still had a couple marbles rolling around upstairs and was president today. We'll just leave Kamala Harris out of it. We're just going to pretend like that era never happened. We would have the same.
And I don't take no orders from no woman, by the way.
We would have the same sort of performative show in front of a committee like this if Merrick Garland were sitting in that seat, except it would just be Republicans screaming at Merrick Garland instead of Democrats and Thomas Massie screaming at Pam Bondi. And Merrick Garland would be a lot more measured than Pam Bondi. He would probably find a little bit more eloquent way to answer some of these questions. But essentially, it would have been the same thing.
You mean to tell me you don't think you would have mentioned the Dow?
I don't know that Merrick Garland would have. Because you know why? Because the fucking stock market has absolutely nothing to do with the Justice Department. I mean, it probably does in practice.
I mean, it dropped. The Dow Jones dropped 669 points today after she mentioned how high it was. Not good.
Like, it's like people were hate selling their stocks. Fuck this place. Oh man. Did you see?
Yeah, I took a 4% hit.
Did you see Ghislaine Maxwell pleading the fifth?
Yeah.
A bunch of
she
times.
pleaded the fifth. Yeah, and then she said that she will say that Trump was innocent if she gets clemency.
Yeah, she'll exonerate him in exchange for clemency,
which Trump will probably do.
Oh man, that
what's the cow she bet on that right now? What's the other one?
Polymarket?
Yeah, Polymarket. What's Polymarket saying about that?
I don't know. I don't feel like looking it up right now. And then you have Trump kind of playing nice with the Clintons, or at least Bill, talking about how he's he always understood me. I like Bill Clinton.
Polymarket has a 10% chance that Ghislaine Maxwell will get pardoned by the end of 2026.
Okay, so she'll probably get pardoned sometime in 2027 because they can't pay that out. They're not going to want to pay that out. To me, it looks pretty clear.
She has it about 20% chance.
To me, it looks like the Clintons and Trump have kind of realized that there's a little bit of mutually assured destruction here when it comes to the Epstein case. Because the Clintons have been subpoenaed. I don't know how that's going to go. I have no idea how that's going to go. Do the Clintons come in and also exercise their Fifth Amendment right to not incriminate themselves? I don't know. I have no idea how that's going to go. I'm really interested to see how it goes, though.
In a perfect world, you hope one of them just goes, you know what? I had my fun. I'm like 80 years old now. And then just fucking spills the beans.
I never sucked any ding-dongs.
That's going to be Bill Clinton.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But like that won't ever happen. But it's like you wish for that movie scene, right? Where like there's audible gasp in the room and they're like, you know what? I'm done playing games. Instead, it's just fucking Jack Nicholson from that war movie. What's that movie? A Few Good Men, where he's like, you can't handle the truth.
I could see Bill spilling the beans, but I also think if he does, Hillary might stab him in his sleep.
That's fine.
I could absolutely see.
You're gonna hear his
happening.
wheezes, like when his breaths. You're gonna hear, kill me.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun on that island. Donald was there with me. We were running a train on them young girls. A lot of fun.
Don't you ever accuse me of a crime.
I believe you just.
Oh, these beastly women. I tell you what.
How about we
man.
all come together and say, let's stop attacking pedophiles?
And I don't listen to women yelling. I tell them to shut up.
Ultimate, dude, this is the way I see this going as of right now, based on what we know. The 4 co-conspirators are going to essentially be scapegoated in this whole thing. That's at least that's what this DOJ is going to try to make happen at this point. I don't think Thomas Massie and Ro Khanna are going to give up.
I asked this question to people as a thought experiment. Would you be, and I think I might have asked this on the show, would you be okay with Trump walking if it takes down everyone else? Guy's 80 years old. He's washed up.
Yeah, we did that last week.
Yeah.
It's the whole railroad track thing. Would you turn the train to save?
I keep asking this, and I get questions back and forth that they say, no, Trump doesn't deserve to walk. And it's like, I get that. He's a piece of shit. But
we see it all the time.
What do you got?
We see criminals turning other criminals in for, the bigger picture.
And those are hardened criminals that know the streets. These guys are all people who are fucking, at the end of the day, nerds.
I would make that sacrifice all day.
I would too. Because it's still happening. Just because Epstein is gone, there's still someone that's a ringleader for this. It's just more secret.
I think
there's no way that they all just went, well, I guess the jig is up. I'm not going to be a pedophile anymore. That's why we lock pedophiles up.
This guy's still got to live his life in public, So
yeah,
let him be free.
How about we all come together and say, let's stop attacking pedophiles?
Shut up, Ted Cruz. Grandpa Munster speaks. You know what was disappointing, though? The way
my Super Bowl squares.
Well, mine are always disappointing. But Steven Pinker and Noam Chomsky showing up in these things the way that they did. That's a little disappointing. I mean, I always liked Chomsky, even though he's a dirty commie.
Was he really? Do you think he was a commie?
Yeah. Well, it's starting to look more and more like he was an op. But he was
a cap. Yeah, I was about to say he seemed like he was actually kind of a capitalist, but
a little bit. Well, that's the thing. Anybody who makes money out of spouting socialist bullshit is a fucking capitalist. I mean, that's just how it works. That's how the world goes. Steven Pinker, though, that's a little bit disappointing too. You know who wasn't in the files, at least not as of yet? Our guy Hunter Biden. What a champion this guy is. What an absolute hero Hunter Biden is. He was able to procure his own crack and his own of legal age whores all on his own.
So,
and guns.
Noam Chomsky
and guns
is most closely associated with libertarian socialism and anarcho-syndicalism. Though he was also described himself broadly as a libertarian socialist in the tradition of classical anarchism.
Do you realize libertarian socialist is an oxymoron?
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of words for just like a Keynesian economist. Keynesian's the one who the government can help influence the market.
It's all based on spending. Keynesianism is all based on spending.
But worker control of the means of production, which does sound pretty commie.
That's nothing libertarian about that.
Decentralized democratic workplaces, abolition of concentrated corporate power.
Listen, I'm going to give a clue here now. I don't want any more bullshit anytime during the day.
But here you go. Reduction or elimination of coercive state power.
That's libertarian.
So he was kind of like...
How do you believe in social programs but also call yourself a libertarian? I don't.
Because reduction or elimination of coercive state power. Like he liked the free market, but he liked the idea that the workers have more sway, I guess. So it sounds like what I'm basically kind of reading is he was really heavy on unions and didn't want the government involved.
And he also helped Jeffrey Epstein with his little PR problem. And now he's too old and frail to defend himself, which is a little bit sad.
Don't get bogged down by all the haters out there.
Now, you listen to George Santos, Noam Chomsky. You're getting close to your deathbed.
So the role of the state, so this is where his libertarian comes in. The role of the state, he believed the state currently protects corporate power. In the short term, it can be used defensively, e.g. welfare programs. In the long term, centralized state power should wither away in favor of democratic associations.
He was an op.
Yeah, he kind of like I guess he's like
100%.
basically he wanted to have democracy in the economic sphere where people just had more say in it, but he didn't want the government involved in it. Which
But
naturally,
wanted the government to collect taxes to pay for social programs that he wanted. Like I don't know. It makes no sense.
Guy's a little.
it's
all
yeah, it's
over
kind
the
of a
place.
little back and forth. He doesn't want the state involved. And the social problem, it was the short term for the welfare programs because he believed that the economy should just work for everyone democratically, that you didn't need eventually social welfare programs and no centralized state power.
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
I'm just happy.
So it's kind of
hero-
it's kind of a mixed bag.
I'm just happy my hero Hunter Biden was not involved.
No, Hunter Biden only committed crimes. He didn't commit atrocities.
Yeah, he just run of the mill stuff, right? He just committed run of the mill stuff. Got some whores.
He
got
didn't need
crack,
he wasn't no
some
soy boy
guns.
who needed people to get him his fix. He got his crack and his prostitutes on his own.
He just did
Got his-
regular felonies.
Yeah, just normal stuff you expect. You know, he was just regular corrupt, right? His daddy.
How does Hunter Biden come out all right? with all
Our
of this?
friend Hunter Biden.
Is friend of the show, Hunter Biden. His daddy just bought him a job in Ukraine, a fake job. He got
Typical
a bunch of
boomer
crack,
thing.
some whores and some guns and just regular. He was just regular corruption, like the kind of corruption you expect from like a president's son, right? Like,
Dude, the kind of corruption that just a goddamn year ago would make people go, Jesus Christ.
yeah, now it's like, can we get Hunter Biden back in the mix?
Oh my God, that's absolutely insane.
Dude, and what's funny about this, I don't want to go down this road, but I think you have to a little bit. Like, is it a coincidence that the folks that are trying to downplay the Epstein stuff have really, really deep ties to the Israeli government? I didn't want to have to go there. Is it just a coincidence? It can't be.
Well, what's with that? That the Israel has deep ties to all this stuff.
No, is it a coincidence that all of the people that are trying to downplay the Epstein stuff right now have deep ties to the Israeli government? I mean, we all know Laura Loomer's being paid by Mossad. We don't know that. I don't want to sound like Candace Owens, but we suspect it heavily.
Dude, that whole thing is going wild too with the Erica Kirk stuff. Like Candace Owens is like onto something.
Oh,
All
and
these
then
different things.
the Jimmy Dores of the world are just drinking Candace's bathwater right now. It is so wild to watch all of that. And I don't have time. We don't have time to watch all of it. We need help. We need to get more staff on this shit. It's time to make some hires. We can't pay you, but we're hiring. Yeah, because it's, is it a coincidence that there's these harsh attacks on Thomas Massie? Now, I guess there are other reasons, which is that, he's principled, and essentially any politician who's ever had principles they try to run out of Washington. Look no further than Ron Paul or his son Rand or Thomas Massie, because that's it. That's the list. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. Marjorie Taylor Greene, once she stopped talking about Jewish space lasers, Yeah, Justin Amash, but he was run out. You know what I mean? Like they always, yeah. You know, they ran out Marjorie Taylor Greene, who once she like got over the Jewish space lasers nonsense, and like screaming at Joe Biden during his fucking addresses, she became, you know, that crazy lady that came around a little bit. But yeah, these are, you can always tell. Tucker Carlson actually made this point. I thought it was a good one. Sometimes Tucker makes good points. He interviewed Ron Paul in his latest episode. He said it's really easy to tell who the good people are based on who their enemies are. Which I don't originally has. Whose quote was that originally? Is that you could tell a person's character by who their enemies are? That's a famous quote. That was not a Tucker Carlson original. He just reminded me of it, I should say, during that particular episode. And it's so true. You can tell somebody's character by who their enemies are.
That's true.
Who are Thomas Massie's enemies? Who are Ron Paul's enemies?
The elitists. And the two-party system. The two-party system. The goddamn pedophiles.
And the damn pedophiles. Bell, you got that video of Laura Loomer's henchman trying to go and attack Thomas Massie. I'm kind of proud of Thomas Massie for this, and also disappointed in him at the same time, because he kind of comes down to the Zionazi, you know, pro-Trump level in this. But I also just found his response absolutely hilarious. Go ahead and roll it, Bell.
Oh yeah, this is funny.
Laura Loomer sends a
Congressman Massie, in the last week, you would have called on President Trump to apologize to Barack Obama, and you're standing here with Congressman Khanna at a press conference implying that the president is a pedophile protector. Are you hating on Trump to try out for CNN? I didn't crack out. Oh, really? Congressman, you need to answer my question. Your lies, your insults are getting old. Answer my question.
Do you hate Trump?
Too scared to answer.
It doesn't fucking matter if he hates Trump. He doesn't work for Trump. He works for his representatives, his constituents in his district. I fucking hate that shit.
No, so it's even more pathetic than that, because he starts off the question by asking, or by stating that Thomas Massie called on Donald Trump to apologize to Barack Obama. For anybody who's living under a mushroom and doesn't know why Thomas Massie did that, it's because Trump's social media team, somebody on Trump's social media team, fucked up and played a video and then had that Obama as a monkey video at the end of it. I don't
think that was a fuck up.
No, I do think it was a fuck up, because you can.
I don't think so.
Here's why I think it was a fuck up. You can kind of tell that it was a screen grab. You can tell that it was a screen grab, and somebody just didn't edit the end of the video off, and the next video started to play.
And that was just their feed.
Right. Now you can say that whoever put that video up intentionally didn't edit that well enough. But do I think that Trump himself was responsible for that? Probably not. The problem is Donald Trump's inability to take any accountability for anything that happens within his administration, because the fish stinks from the head. And it's like, if it were you or me, Corey, and somebody on our social media team, you know, if it was somebody on the libservative social media team did something like that, we would
two of us.
You know what I'm saying, though? Like, we would immediately be like, no, that's totally fucked up. And we'll absolutely be addressing that. Like,
yes, sorry about that. That was absolutely unacceptable. Yeah,
it's unacceptable for that to ever. But that's why Thomas Massie called on Trump to apologize to the Obamas, because it doesn't matter how you feel about the Obamas. The video's racist as fuck.
Yeah.
I mean,
but here's why I think it was tactical, because it always goes back and forth, right? Like, is this Trump administration? You got half the country saying that they're just a bunch of befuddled idiots, like a monkey trying to screw a coconut. And then it's other people saying, oh, they're playing 4D chess. They're geniuses. They're always 4 steps ahead. if we're playing the angle where he's smart and he's a genius, then he did that intentionally because you would fucking rather be called a racist than a pedophile. Those are two shitty words to be labeled. But if I had to choose between the two, I'd rather people think I was a racist than a pedophile.
No, you know what, Corey? That's fair because
they're doing everything they can to try to make noise to get away from this Epstein shit. Look what's happening with El Paso right now. With all of that shit with the airspace being closed down.
Or Trump talking about releasing news on aliens.
Yeah, or now Trump's talking about bringing people from Congress to go see real aliens.
Corey, it goes back to the wonderful Dave Smith video from 2 or 3 years ago, maybe even longer ago than that now, because time's flying right now, where he said that when you lose on policy, but I think you can also add when you get into a little bit of trouble, you pivot to a culture war.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you do, because you're not going to get in trouble with anybody in power when you're talking about who gets to use which bathroom, or to your point, Corey, when you're talking about race and you're talking about, abortion, which Dave also mentions in that video. Like, abortion is an important thing, but it's not something that, the power brokers of the planet give a shit about. It's why, why it's an issue that's brought up every fucking election.
It's used as a tool, used as a distraction.
It's not, yeah, right. And so that seems to be, you could be right about that. That's a really, really good distraction. Oh, they're coming after us. They're coming after the powerful people. Hey, go have a race war. We're good with that. You guys can go have a race war. That's fine. Go have a race war. Go have a class war. We don't mind that, because you're going to lose a class war anyway. Race war is a lot better for them because really doesn't affect anything.
It's insane. Like, it's all just a fucking mess, because like in 2016, him sharing that, or him doing some of the shit he says or the stuff he does, like, why was it between 2016 and 2020 it seemed funnier than it does now? Like, now it's just like,
I'll tell you exactly why.
It's like seeing a comedian do the same stand-up act for 8 years.
No, I'll tell you exactly why it was funnier then than it is now, and why it was funny at the beginning of 2024 and on through the election. It's because at that point in time, there's this air of hope, right? We're looking at a Biden administration where we know that we literally have a vegetable as the president of the United States. And you have Trump coming in and running a campaign to make everything better. And Trump gets in, he has his little honeymoon period. Stock market's doing okay. No conflicts have been started. Trump's talking about ending wars. And then when stuff starts to get shitty, it's not like the own the libs stuff isn't as funny anymore. Right? It's funny when things are going well. And we thought so too. I mean, we weren't laughing. Nobody was laughing harder at the own the libs stuff than we were. Because it was funny. Now it's just like, it doesn't resonate anymore. It's not funny because stuff sucks.
Right. Just like when you're working in your day job, when you got everything caught up, you got everything running, everything in the shop's running the way it's supposed to. You could take a breather and make a joke and crack a joke with someone. You can talk, you can jab each other a little bit. But then all of a sudden, if a machine goes down or there's a big
you got a deadline to hit.
Floor, yeah, you got a deadline to hit. Everyone puts their head down and they get to fucking work.
And the jokes aren't funny.
No, they're not. Like, quit joking around. All right, we got to get this shit done.
Mm-hmm. That's what it is.
Hey, look at us. We're both drinking Yingling. I'm drinking the Flight, though.
Not a sponsor, by the way. Although we'll take you. We'll take you on.
We'll be your sponsor.
Speaking of they'll be our sponsor. The hell's the matter with you?
You're thinking small game, dude. We'll be their sponsor.
Okay, fair enough.
Yingling, brought to you by Libservative Podcast.
Speaking of distractions.
Sorry.
They're getting so much more pathetic. Laura Loomer is essentially, I guess, tongue-in-cheek.
Ew, gross.
Now accusing Thomas Massie of killing his wife. Can't make this show. This is a tweet from Laura Loomer. I think this was yesterday. Serious question and answers, and serious answers only, as if anybody's going to give this bitch a serious answer. How did @Rep Thomas Massie's wife die? Is there a police report? Is there an autopsy? Why is this such a mystery? I'd like to know. I find it to be so bizarre and always have. Now there's a much younger woman in the picture.
Come on now, you expect me to believe that?
I mean, the attempts to distract and discredit Thomas Massie, like it's so hard to discredit this man at this point that like they literally have to resort to calling him a murderer. Like that's the only thing that they have left.
Insane.
It's just wild. I think she's the only one who's gone this far, but like that's what the attacks on Thomas Massie are now.
And getting married, creating a traditional family that conservatives claim they love by marrying, instead of being an infidelity, marrying the woman.
Dude, it's
attacking him for remarrying because his wife died. How did she die, by the way?
She suggested
she died of
that Candace.
She had an autoimmune disorder.
Oh yeah, because Massie did that. That's Jesus Christ.
I wasn't investigated.
You're a fat loser and you have body odor.
That's
she died of some respiratory issue due to an autoimmune disorder. What were you saying, Belle? Sorry.
Was it supposed to be fucking Munchausen's? He was just poisoning her. God, what a dumb bitch.
Laura Loomer asked Candace Owens to investigate.
To investigate Thomas Massie's wife's murder instead of Charlie Kirk's. It's just like, it's just it honestly, it's I just hope Laura Loomer realizes that the only reason that she's as famous as she is, and maybe it's brilliance on her part, I don't know, is because she's so fucking ridiculous. That's the only reason anybody talks about her. I mean, maybe it's what she wants.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's so you don't have the National Enquirer anymore, really. You don't have the Weekly World News, the little tabloids you would read when you were in the checkout line but never buy when you were when you were at the grocery store with your parents. It's just people like this. She's just a tabloid. Just sensationalism. Get people riled up. Makes the water cooler conversations a little bit more colorful.
I get it. You want to get into these polls?
Yeah, let's smoke some polls.
Hold on, I gotta go back up to the top of the screen. So Gallup poll says that a new high of 45% in the U.S. identify as political independence. A record high 45% of U.S. adults identified as political independence in 2025, surpassing the 43% measured in 2014, 2023, and 2024. Meanwhile, equal shares of U.S. adults, 27% each, identify as either Democrats or Republicans. 27% identify as one of as in each party. So, Jesus Christ, we're talking about almost half. We're talking about almost half of people in this Gallup poll are reporting as independents. In most years since Gallup began regularly conducting its polls by telephone in 1988, independents have been the largest political group. However, the independent percentage has increased markedly in the last 15 years, typically registering 40% or higher, a level not reached prior to 2011. But the thing that's the most interesting is the generational divide. So, party identification by birth cohort 2025. In politics as of today, this was the question that was asked. In politics as of today, do you consider yourself a Republican, Democrat, or an independent? As of today, do you lean more to the Democratic Party or to the Republican Party? So Gen Z, 56% independent, 27 Democrat, 17 Republican. Millennials, 54% independent. Pretty even on Republican and Democrat, 21 and 24 respectively. And then it goes down a little bit from there. But even Generation X, man, 42% as independents. And then you basically have the boomers and the silent generation split into thirds, Republican, independent, and Democrat. This is certainly important.
We're getting there.
It's certainly important. The thing that's missing is this is just party affiliation, because when you start, because Gallup also went into sort of the ideological side of it, and you're still getting more people leaning toward calling themselves conservative or liberal, but not necessarily identifying with the parties, as you can see, that are traditionally holding those two ideologies. So my hope is that getting away from the party affiliation will hopefully, as somewhere downstream, bring people away from these two cultish political ideologies, if you will. You have an uptick since the start of the Trump administration in people leaning towards the Democrats, which makes complete sense. The party that's in power isn't doing a good job, has a shitty approval rating. You're going to have an uptick on the other side, because the same thing happened after Biden's little honeymoon period after the 2020 election. So the hope is that these party affiliations bleed over into political ideologies. Maybe the Epstein files will have something to do with that. More and more people realizing that both of these parties and the ideologies that they hold work for the same goddamn people. And guess who it ain't? It ain't you, and it ain't me.
But all these young people being independent, do you know what that means?
I don't know.
It means no worries.
Yeah. Well, the
No, I mean, they still got to worry, but it's nice to see, because like you get a bunch of people who are independent, and then like all of a sudden they're going to realize that, like it's like opening Pandora's box. People talk about, like, when it comes to the conspiracies, going down the rabbit hole. But if people just become independent, they're now coming to the cognizance of like, well, I don't like Democrats, I don't like Republicans, but there's individuals in either of these parties that I might like or dislike. So then it opens up that box, and then they're going to look at that box and go, wow, a lot of these ones fucking suck. I wish I had more options. That's going to open up the box of looking at more parties, and libertarians and Green Party and constitutionalists. They're going to be like, wow, okay, so I like more of what these parties are saying, but they're not on my ballot. So then it's going to start opening the box of like looking at ways to get them on your ballot, which is going to lead to like ranked choice voting, and just it's way better for the country. The founding fathers warned against factions
and parties
and dealing in European affairs
and many other things that
yeah. So I mean, that like in all of this shit, I feel like we're just constantly getting kicked and punched while we're down and hearing this shit. It's nice to hear that everyone is finally catching up and going, yeah, the two-party system sucks.
Well, and you look at this too, because there's still the people out there that are there's so many of them that are so nihilistic, that go to the ballot, they hold their nose, and they pull the lever for whoever they think is the lesser of two evils. And you're going to see that again here in the midterms. I don't think there's any way you don't see some form of a blue wave in the 2026 midterms, because people are pissed about whatever their issue is, whether it's the housing market, whether it's the ICE raids, whether it's the tariffs and inflation and Trump flirting with conflict overseas. Not that he's unique in that regard. He's not. But the dead giveaway that shows that there's a really good chance we see a blue wave was in these early year and off year special elections. Those historically have generally been a pretty good precursor for what you're going to see in the midterms. Yeah. So the Republicans go and redistrict, and it ends up biting them in the ass.
Because you had Trump come in and you had a bunch of minorities like, yeah, you know what, we're gonna give this guy a shot, and then he just tried to deport all of them after they voted for him.
Oh yeah, that's been a huge shift, because like Trump had that big shift in the Hispanic vote in 2024.
That's what
gone.
led.
That's
That
gone.
gain is what led
Completely gone.
Texas to draw its redistricting, because they thought that these would be locks for them in these different districts where these minorities were, thinking they would have a red vote win. But then Taylor Weinhardt won a special election for Texas Senate District 9, flipping a seat that had been long held by Democrats. The people were like, since at least the 90s, and it could be more. And it wasn't just a little bit, it was 14 points.
Yeah. You mean had been held by Republicans, right?
Or it's been held by Republicans since like the 90s, at least. And it's a district that Trump won by 17 points in 2024. And then Taylor Ramette won it by 14 points on January 31st, 2026.
And
That's
if you
over
look
a
at the
30-point swing.
Yeah, if you look at the Hispanic vote, it's gone. Like whatever gains Trump made in 2024 because of the way that he is executing these deportations, and by the way, not even doing a fucking good job at it. Like the thing that he said was going to happen isn't even happening. So not only are you getting into conflicts with American citizens, sending your Gestapo into these cities, you're not even deporting nearly the amount of people that you otherwise would be, because because Trump has to be loud about everything. We got to be loud.
Yeah, it's like I said, like if you have a bunch of illegals in an area, it's equivalent to going hunting for deer. If you go in hunting for deer and you're fucking wearing fucking jingle bells like you're on fucking Santa's sleigh and you're just walking
blowing a whistle,
you're just going
where you? Where y'all at, deer?
Where are you, deer? I'm here to hunt you. The deer are gonna fucking scatter and run away. But if you go in there quiet,
Fucking white people.
you bag them and tag them. I don't mean to say that you should bag and tag fucking illegals. I'm just saying that you have to tag your deer when you kill them. But
some people would say that's what they want.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an optimistic poll, I guess.
I already made a bet with one person. You want to make that bet? You want to make a bet with me, Dan, right here on the show?
I'm probably
betting that there's going to be, but you're probably going to agree with me, so it wouldn't even be a bet. But I think that the House and the Senate will turn at the midterms. I'm not going to.
House is going to be. The Senate for sure. The House is going to be tough. The House is still going to be tough. It'll be close, but the Senate for sure, absolutely. I don't think there's any question about that. But there will be.
You sure about that?
There will be some. Well, I mean, Democrats will pick up seats in the House. Absolutely, it's going to be way, way closer. A flip, I wouldn't say is a lock. I think a Senate flip is a lock.
Like, because you just figure that there's a ton of suburban areas, like Macomb County, like a little bit local here in Michigan, because that's where we're from. So it's like something we can attribute to, or something that we're familiar with, right? But Macomb County like flip-flops. And
Macomb County's pretty blood red. It's been red for a while.
Yeah, but no, it voted for Biden. I'm pretty sure it went blue for Biden.
I don't think so. I think Trump held Macomb County in 2020. Bell, look that up. Who won Macomb County in 2020? They might have gone for Obama in 2008. It might have even gone for Obama in 2012. I'm pretty sure Trump has won Macomb County all 3 times.
Did he?
I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. Bell's finding out for us.
Yeah,
Bell's finding out for us.
Bell will get to the bottom of this.
The thing is, we can't even see Bell on camera, so we don't know if he's dead right now or what.
He thought I was dead for 2 days.
There he is. His camera's on. He's not going to be on screen, but he's there. He's looking for us. Well, we wait for Bell to find that. You like the other culture war that they tried to pivot to?
It was Trump.
It was Trump.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It was pretty. That's a pretty MAGA county over there in Macomb.
I made a bet with a guy at work that like if it's the Senate but not the House, it's a wash. If it's what he said,
I'm 40 feet away from Macomb County. It is right on the other side of the street. It's true.
But yeah, I made a bet with him that if the Democrats, that I said I think there will be like the blue wave, because he says he didn't think there was, because they talked about a red wave in 2022 that didn't happen. Remember, we were surprised that it didn't. That like the Republicans didn't just fuck them up as much as we thought they would. But I think that I think they're going to win the House and the Senate.
Yeah, the problem with
it happened last time. It happened in his first presidency.
The problem with the red wave in 2022, this is the disadvantage that Trump gives to the Republican Party, which is like, if you're going to the ballot box to vote for Trump, he helps Republicans down ticket for the most part. There are some exceptions to that, but when Trump's not on the ballot, he hasn't. He's harmed Republicans,
and the same thing happened to Obama. He didn't necessarily harm Democrats the way that Trump harms Republicans, but like voter participation, like in midterms after Obama, same shit. It fell apart. I think it happened in both of his terms, because like when he won in 2008, I think he got the House and the Senate.
He did.
Yeah, because
he lost it. And he lost it in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think he got it back in 2012.
I don't know.
Not sure what happened in 2014.
Might have been a split or something like that. Jesus, that was over 10 years ago.
But you have we also have the other culture war issue, which was the Super Bowl halftime show.
Oh, god damn it.
That was a great pivot. That was a great pivot to a culture war. Dude, here's the thing.
Did anyone watch the other halftime show?
Would it have like 1 million viewers, or like it was more than that? It was like 5 million viewers. But
did you watch it?
It was like 37. The Kid Rock one?
Yeah.
No. Why would I do that to myself? I didn't want to watch the regular halftime show either. I just did. I can't understand a word that guy's saying.
Me and Bell in the group chat when Bell was receiving my text.
We have all just participated in a hate crime.
Talking about our boomer dads was hilarious. My dad being okay with it and being flustered with not being able to understand the words was based on the amount of ass shaking by women was on the screen. Just fucking 80-year-old man just going, oh, I like that.
This Super Bowl halftime show is just a stupid
political football, no pun intended.
Cultural political football. It has been for a decade or more now. If it's a white band, you know, like if the Red Hot Chili Peppers went and played another halftime show, it wouldn't be diverse enough, and people on the left would be throwing a fit about how not diverse the halftime show is. And if you have anybody who has more melanin in their skin than like fucking Dwayne The Rock Johnson, this is un-American and it's smut. This is un-American smut coming from the right. It's just, dude, I don't care.
Even though the Kendrick fucking halftime show was fucking fire.
Why is it gotta be music?
What'd you say, Bill?
Why does it gotta be music? Why don't they just do the Blue Man Group and make everybody happy?
There we go.
See, that's
a great idea.
Bell just solved it. The Blue Man Group every year. They just have a residency at the Super Bowl halftime show.
Or that guy that smashes what's his name? The guy that smashes all the watermelons and
Gallagher?
Gallagher. Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, so Gallagher will be the guy for the Republicans. You have Carrot Top do a little set. Just whoever has a Vegas residency, just do a Vegas residency halftime show. Bring Britney Spears in from 2012. You got to get her up there before her teeth fall out. I'm worried about her. You seen that? You seen her teeth?
No.
In those
She's
fucking
in
weird
bad shape,
Instagram videos. What'd you say, Bill?
She's in bad shape.
She is. Every video she does, I'm like, what is happening to her teeth?
Everyone's like, well, we did it. We freed Britney.
Yeah, maybe that wasn't a great call. And I'm a libertarian.
You're a fat loser and you have body odor.
She is not. She's not that gross.
Yeah, don't say that. That's mean.
He's talking about freedom, you fucking queers! Shut up, bitch!
I don't know. You have anything you wanted to add to the... I just needed to bitch about the fact that the Super Bowl halftime show is the dumbest thing that there is.
Yeah, like, why is everyone getting pissed off about a free concert of one of the, like, it's always like a really popular artist at the moment. And like, you're not there for that concert, you're there for the fucking football game.
Because it was un-American smut, that's why.
And it's just something to fill in some time while, like, during the halftime, versus like when you're watching any other football game, it's fucking just the talking heads breaking down like what other games are going on at the time and like what the two teams are doing and what they should do to like change their fucking tactics to win the game or keep the game won. And instead of that, we just get a little concert and everyone's like, it's fucking stupid. It's like, no, you're stupid. Like, my God.
It's really
Shut
the
up.
equivalent of the equivalent of somebody wanting an Android phone and somebody walks up and hands them a free iPhone and they're like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? And they get really genuinely pissed that somebody gave them an iPhone instead of an Android.
Is that what happened to you, Belle?
No, I'm
you just go ahead and say that again.
Sorry, man.
Dan rudely pulled you from the
I
screen.
fucked that up. I muted you by
Oh,
mistake.
I never sucked any ding dongs.
I said I'm perfectly happy. I get texts from everybody I want to get texts from.
Except for me. Oh, okay. I see what you said. Everybody he wants to get texts from.
How about we all come together and say, let's stop attacking pedophiles?
What else do we have? Oh, we have
You know who's not in those Epstein files?
Obama and Larry Sinclair.
We already know. Obama's married to a dude and he banged a guy named Larry Sinclair. His scandal's done with. Obama's not in it because he doesn't like young girls. He likes men instead. That's apparently.
I was saying Larry Sinclair's a grown adult.
That's true. Yeah. Consenting adults.
And I don't listen to women yelling. I tell them to shut up.
Peekaboo.
Actual audio from Barack Obama. You Bibi Netanyahu, Corey, threatening the West. Have you seen this? Bell, throw that video up there. Get it ready for us. It's very short. It's like 18 seconds. And by the way, it's also in Hebrew. So if you're not watching, we'll explain to you exactly what he says. I don't know why he decided to do this, but it's very, very interesting. Go ahead and roll it, Bill.
אני דורש מממשלות המערב לעשות את מה שנדרש כדי להילחם
I
באנטישמיות.
demand that the Western governments do what is necessary to fight anti-Semitism and provide safety and security for Jewish communities worldwide. They would be well advised to heed our warnings. I demand action from them now. I demand that Western governments do what is necessary.
That's it. That's it. It's running. It's rolling again. What is the point of this?
What is that supposed to mean?
What is the exactly? What is that supposed to mean?
Also, it's in Hebrew. So That's him just catering to people in Israel. That's not
people.
for us. That wasn't for us.
Yeah. You can always tell who Bibi's talking to based on which language he does the
Oh
statement
yeah,
in.
and that's not just for Bibi. That's for any leader.
Sure,
like
sure,
when
sure.
like when there's a press release from Russia in English, he's letting the Americans know something, or the West who speak English something. When you know what I mean. When Bibi says something in English, it's for the Americans. If it's in Hebrew, that's just him just blustering. That doesn't really. I'm not that scared of that. If he, you know what I mean. Like, it doesn't change the fact that like he thinks that he's the dog wagging the tail type of shit. But you know, the tail wagging the dog when it comes to the West and American politics and stuff like that. He thinks he's in charge, but
it didn't bring this. It didn't bring the Samson option back to the front of your mind.
Oh wow! Okay, no, I didn't, because that one's slipping my mind.
So the Samson option is essentially it's not a doctrine. It's not written down anywhere, but it's the alleged plan for Israel to basically blow up the world before Israel can ever be destroyed. And there's been a lot of discussion about the Samson option following this video.
They're building the third temple currently, trying to anyways. And that's all part of that.
It's interesting that they have a massive nuclear retaliation doctrine when they still have yet to admit that they have nukes.
Thank you for that point, Corey, because that's what I was going to get into next. Because I was going to say, I thought Israel doesn't confirm or deny that it has nukes, which, of course, from a moral perspective, as they see it, allows them to avoid the nuclear non-proliferation treaty. So I go back to Seymour Hersh's book from 1991, The Samson Option. Where does he get his information for the fact that this plan actually exists? There's no doctrine. It's not written down anywhere. A lot like the Hannibal Directive. There's no actual document. But Seymour Hersh spent a lot of time speaking to retired Israeli military officers, former Mossad figures, U.S. officials who dealt with the Israeli nuclear program. And this all stemmed from leaked photos of the Dimona nuclear program from 1986. So, also Israeli officials have stated many times, not just Bibi Netanyahu, but others, stated many times that quote unquote nuclear weapons are the ultimate guarantee of survival. And they're correct. It's also why their assholes pucker up tighter than a goddamn snare drum about Iran getting nuclear weapons. The Kims know that. Gaddafi's rotting corpse knows that. You know, the man who made Libya the richest country in Africa, he did it by nationalizing the oil, but literacy rates went from 25% to 80%. Life expectancy went from 51 years old to 74 years old. He was
under Gaddafi.
Yes, he was a socialist, which is a major contributing factor to why Libya collapsed so fast and hard following his fall, because his government was far too centralized. But essentially, he was bullied by the world to give up his nukes. So he essentially died for being a quote-unquote threat to Israel. He didn't want to be next after the West invaded Iraq. So where does Israel tie in here? We know that Israel has nukes. And is it crazy to think that what Bibi said here, I understand your point, Corey, but is it crazy to think that what Bibi said here could be interpreted as a threat? And the reason I ask that question is because imagine if any other world leader had said the exact same thing about his nation that Bibi Netanyahu said in that video. Imagine if the Ayatollah had come out and said verbatim what Bibi Netanyahu said about Israel, except about Iran. Would that not be taken as a threat? Would that not be... Would Bibi Netanyahu not have his asshole pucker up and have Trump on the phone the next day being like, did you see what the Ayatollah said? You better invade. You better invade.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But it's Israel. So it's okay. They're our ally. The only democracy in the Middle East. Here's what I have to say to
Listen,
that.
I've got to give a clue here now. I don't want any more bullshit anytime during the day.
How do we know Israel's not a real democracy? Sure, they have elections. They vote people in, they vote people out. That's not what makes a democracy. Bell, you got the video of what the Israelis have been doing to Palestinian organs?
Did you bring this up, or did I just see this recently organically?
You just saw this recently organically.
Because we didn't talk about this, did we?
No. So this video, before Bell plays it, this video is a video of a teacher who was fired from her job for, well, the exact words that are in this video. Go ahead and roll it, Bell.
And we shouldn't accept the videos of Israeli and Iranian flags together. I believe that Israel is hijacking the protests in order to do the same BS that they're always doing, which is just stealing from people. And that includes everything from goods and services all the way down to their livers and kidneys and eyeballs. And we shouldn't accept the videos.
So she was fired for that video. Now, it sounds crazy, right? It sounds nuts. Like, this is some crazy lady talking about governments harvesting organs.
You want me to read it real quick?
Read what?
The tweet that is associated with that from DropSite. Who's
from DropSite? I was going to read it, but feel free to take it away.
Oh, you can read it if you want.
Sure. So DropSite News is the one who reported this this firing. And they had a little context to this. Because this woman sounds nuts, right? I don't know why it sounds that insane.
I don't even know what sounds nuts anymore, Dan.
My point exactly, Corey, because with all this stuff going on with Epstein and all the circles he had his fingers in, things just sound less and less nuts. We might be Candace Owens next week by the time we get on the show. Like it's just going in that direction. I don't want it to go in that direction, but it's going in that direction. So this is DropSite News reporting. A San Diego special education teacher, Nasreen Atassi, sorry if I butchered her name, was fired on February 9th after posting a video stating that Israel steals livers and kidneys and eyeballs, quote unquote. The California Post reports. The San Diego Unified School District confirmed her dismissal after the clip was amplified by Stop Anti-Semitism and complaints from local Jewish groups. Her remarks come amid extensive reports from Palestinian medical professionals pointing to Israel carrying out the removal of organs from bodies returned from Israeli custody, citing surgical incisions, missing vital organs, and the absence of autopsy documentation. On February 5th and 6th, staff at El Shifa Medical Complex said they received 54 bodies and dozens of boxes of remains returned from Israeli custody that showed signs of surgical organ removal. Doctors at Nasser Medical Complex in Khan Yunis have found similar cases. Gaza Health Ministries Director General Dr. Munir al-Bursh stated that examinations found missing kidneys, livers, and corneas, chest cavities opened with surgical precision, some reportedly stuffed with cotton, and bodies returned without autopsy reports or documentation. UK Surgeon General Dr. Ghassan Abu Sita, reviewing photographs, said the precision of the incisions suggests medical expertise consistent with transplantation procedures. Pro-Israel advocacy groups have labeled the evidence, quote, blood libel. God, they love that phrase, don't they? The same label they applied to Atassi after she pointed to mounting medical reports from Gaza doctors of Israel carrying out organ theft. And they add a little context that in 2009, the former head of Israel's Abu Kabir Forensic Institute, Israel's primary center for forensic pathology and autopsies, Dr. Yehuda Hiss, confirmed that pathologists had harvested skin, corneas, and heart valves from both Palestinians without family consent during the 1990s. So, kind of sounds like Israel's harvesting organs from political prisoners. Kind of what it sounds like.
Kind of.
And this woman, I mean, I'm sure they'll come up. Well, it's blood libel, Corey. I mean, we can't. Is that going to be the next phrase that has no meaning? Racism gone, homophobia is gone. We don't have that anymore. Anti-Semitism is way gone, and now blood libel might be the next phrase that just when people say it, it just doesn't mean anything anymore. Is the Israeli government harvesting organs from political prisoners? I want to know.
That's a fair question.
But you know what, Corey? It's okay. You know why it's okay? Because they're just Hamas. They're just Hamas. Doesn't matter.
Dude, people believe that shit, and it's absolutely mind-numbing that the value of life is based on what sort of media outlet tells you it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's...
So they need a heart.
Yeah, they don't. They have to steal them.
We're gonna find out they're eating them. Is there adrenochrome in the human heart? Let's grab some of that. I'm kidding. I'm not going that deep yet. Not yet. We'll get there someday.
Dude, I've been saying it for years. We got to make tinfoil hats for our show.
I don't know why it is so difficult for so many people to see what the Israeli government, yes, the Israeli government, not the Jews, because we have to clarify, we have to specify what the Israeli government and honestly our own government to an extent, okay? Like, we're not clean in this. They're using the same autocratic tactics that every famous autocrat has used throughout history. Do you know what that is? I think you do know, but you might not have it at the front of your brain, Corey. It's weaponizing victimhood. Every single successful autocrat has weaponized victimhood to come to power. I don't care if you're talking about the Bolsheviks and the Stalinists. I don't care if you're talking about Hitler and the Nazis. I don't care if you're talking about Idi Amin. I don't care if you're talking about Pol. Why do you think I said our own government? I don't care if you're talking about Pol Pot. I don't care if you're talking about what the woke movement was, because that was the same fucking thing. That was this weaponization of victimhood to gain power. You know why? Because when you weaponize your own victimhood, it gives you the quote-unquote moral high ground to fight back and take over and fight against the people that were victimizing you, if you will. This is exactly what these fucking governments are doing at this point. And it's been done so many times over and over and over again.
People still bite it or buy it.
And we never learn because it's successful because it works. It's a great fear tactic.
And it's frustrating. I hate that type of shit because it's the same with the word racism. You know, like all the words that they use, like you're just muddying the water for like the true racism. You're muddying the water for the true anti-Semitism.
I mean, think about
when there's real victims out there now. Like when we look at this, like when people say, I can't believe everyone's saying this about Trump. And it's like, well, can you blame them? You know, he's mentioned in these files thousands and thousands and thousands of times. And then when there's people that don't believe it, it's like, can you really blame them either? I mean, how many times have they tried to come after Trump with shit?
Right. What did we talk about 3
and how
years
many
ago, Corey?
was he victim or vindicated with like the Steele dossier, with Obamagate, when he was being spied on? Like there was shit that was happening to him that legitimately was just
bullshit.
Fucking bullshit.
And so yeah, like you can understand how a Trump supporter would be like, "Oh, you mean this is the one that's real?" You know, the boy who cried wolf, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you run around and you try to take this guy down on a bunch of bullshit. Then when something real does come along, and we're not even saying the Epstein stuff is necessarily real, but it is extraordinarily suspicious that he's fighting so fucking hard to get it to go away. I mean, methinks thou doth protest too much sort of situation. But you can also understand why a Trump supporter would be like, well, like all these other times were bullshit. I think this one's bullshit too. I get it. I get how you could come to that conclusion. And that's what is that is what makes the bullshit so frustrating. And the way that anyone in power just finds a way to just mix in that powder of bullshit into the recipe just to sow a little bit of doubt. That's all you need. That's all you need when you're in a powerful position. Just a little bit of doubt. A little bit of doubt will go a long way. It's like fucking sugar. You don't need a lot of sugar to sweeten something up.
No. But I do add a lot of sugar to my Kool-Aid.
Well, who doesn't? It's Kool-Aid.
I'll tell you who doesn't. I can't find it quick enough. I was about to play the fucking white people.
Tastes like ass anyway.
What, Kool-Aid?
Yeah.
They're not adding enough sugar.
It's just, I'll just drink sugar water instead. What's the difference?
What is this? What are you, the fucking guy from Men in Black?
I take care of my body now, Corey. I take really good care of it. I don't put that garbage in myself. Next week I'll be on the show grifting off some health product that doesn't work.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm going to sell you a senolytic or like some lotion made out of beef tallow.
I heard a fucking commercial for that shit recently.
Beef tallow lotion?
Yeah.
It's real. It's a thing.
I know.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie though. I'm not gonna lie though. I don't think I would buy it, but I would try it. Do you know why I would try it? I have had since I was a kid. I've had the driest skin in the world. I've always had skin issues, and like no lotion ever works. I'll try anything. I'll rub some fucking cow fat on me if it helps, especially in the wintertime.
I've never needed anything for my skin.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I can grow a beard too.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I can grow a beard. I need anything for my skin. These aren't. I'm not bragging.
Corey's got perfect genetics. Corey's got perfect genetics. He gets injured all the time.
Fucking white people.
Yeah, but that's my own fault.
If you had better joints, you wouldn't break them all the time.
Well, you know, the joints have held up pretty well, but when you get launched 4 feet out off of an 8-foot quarter pipe on a snowboard, you know, your shoulder breaks, you fall. It might fuck it up a little bit. Bigger hearts than brains, what I always say.
You are one pathetic loser. Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
Anything else you want to add to Bibi threatening the world, or should we get to your TikToks?
We can get to my TikToks because I don't want him to threaten me personally, I guess.
Hello. Yeah? I'm here for the gangbang.
All right. So this first one I got labeled for you, Bell, as Epstein #1. Us as Americans in general just aren't the greatest at just like having our attention kept. You know what I mean?
Really?
Like our attention
I
span
never
is
would have
just-
guessed that.
Is just a fucking mess. So I found these videos that just put it into song for everyone to kind of get a grasp on just who this Jeffrey Epstein guy is.
Before Bell plays this, is that an old picture of Jeffrey Epstein?
That is an old picture of a young Jeffrey Epstein.
Why does he look like a fat, creepy John Travolta in that picture?
He's a teacher in that picture. That's from when he was teaching.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
teaching at the what the hell's the name of the fucking prestigious school? It's slipping my mind that he was at. That nobody knows how he got that job. No, it was the Warden School or the Wharton School, I think.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But all right, go ahead and play that one, Bell.
Jeffrey Epstein skipped 2 grades, graduated at 16, got into an elite math program at NYU, dropped out, and then at 21 was hired to teach physics at the most exclusive private school in Manhattan without a degree. The headmaster was Donald Barr, OSS veteran, precursor to the CIA, who wrote a novel about elites keeping humans as sex slaves, and who just happens to be the father of William Barr, the attorney general who would oversee the jail where Epstein died 45 years later. Small world. One of those students at the Dalton School where Epstein taught was the daughter of Bear Stearns CEO Alan Greenberg. Epstein told people that relationship got him his Wall Street job. Fired from teaching for poor performance, hired on Wall Street the next day. At Bear Stearns, he rose from junior floor assistant to advising the bank's wealthiest clients, including Edgar Bronfman, president of Seagram's, who would later co-found something called the Mega Group, along with Leslie Wedner and Ronald Lauder, a secret network of billionaire donors coordinating pro-Israel strategy. He joined the Rockefeller University Board, the Trilateral Commission, the Council on Foreign Relations. David Rockefeller personally mentored him. A college dropout from Coney Island, at the table with the man who built the globalist infrastructure. It seems that many were fascinated or impressed by Epstein and his connections, which helped him become even more connected. A defense contractor named Douglas Leeson, Nixon's former Attorney General John Mitchell, introduced him to Stephen Hoffenberg, who says Lee's recruited Epstein for British intelligence, and Hoffenberg introduced him to Robert Maxwell. Robert Maxwell, media mogul who sold stolen surveillance software called Promise for the CIA and Mossad, document an intelligence asset whose daughter would move to New York and partner with Epstein. The same year, he mysteriously fell off his yacht, 6 heads of Israeli intelligence at his funeral. Totally normal for a book publisher. During this same period, Epstein had an Austrian passport with his photo, but a false name and a Saudi address. That's not something you pick up at the post office. That's intelligence tradecraft. One of his clients was Adnan Khashoggi, the middleman, transferring American weapons from Israel to Iran. Iran-Contra, same scandal involving the CIA, same CIA whose precursor employed Donald Barr, same era Bush was running the agency, then the country. And a CIA front airline called Southern Air Transport would later relocate its headquarters to service the brands of Les Werfner, the man who would give Epstein everything. But that's part 2. I'm just curious how a math teacher from Brooklyn ended up with a fake passport, a Rockefeller mentor, a seat at the Trilateral Commission. An intelligence recruitment chain that runs through defense contractors and a former attorney general, and a direct connection to the man who sold spy software for the CIA and Mossad. And I'm curious why, when they finally arrested him, there were 10,000 videos seized and sealed, 6 million pages where they released maybe half, 10 co-conspirators identified, and only one charge. The CIA director who visited his townhouse now controls all the intelligence intelligence, and the president who promised to release everything is attacking the congressman who wrote the Transparency Act. I'm just curious if those files stay sealed, not to protect one man's secrets, but to protect the system that created him. I'm curious.
And that's what's great about that is like that's everything that we like know for sure.
Right.
And it's like that's not suspicious enough for you.
Right.
You gotta love AI though, about when they do AI songs like this and all the mispronunciations. Why are you muted?
I farted.
Oh, well, you could have let that on the air.
Well, now it
okay.
Fuck.
We have all just participated in a hate crime.
This next one is just another song. Because these are just great, and I feel like
why are you so musical today?
It's
AI music to boot.
And what?
And AI music to boot.
Well, I don't know. Someone just makes these, and I find them, and I double check, see how true they are, and it's like, yep, this is all pretty factual.
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
Sorry. Sorry, I'm here to entertain.
Let's go. Come on.
Ghislaine Maxwell, because everybody calls her Epstein's girlfriend, like she was just some lady who was dating the wrong guy. But according to the victim, she was the one running in Virginia. Jeffrey said Epstein was Pinocchio, but Ghislaine was Geppetto. She was the one pulling the strings. So her dad was Robert Maxwell, British media mogul, owned newspapers, owned publishing companies. And when he died in 1991, he fell off his yacht in the Canary Islands, and 6 heads of Israeli intelligence showed up to his funeral, which is a completely normal amount of spies at a book publisher's funeral. He was buried on the Mount of Olives in Jerusalem with the state ceremony. The prime minister gave a eulogy calling him a hero. After he died, it came out he'd stolen 400 million pounds from his employees' pension fund, and he'd been selling bug surveillance software called Promise for the CIA and Mossad. So that's Dad. Now here's what's interesting about the sisters, because this isn't just Ghislaine. Isabel became president of an Israeli tech security company and basically became the bridge between Israel's government and Silicon Valley. Close friends with former Mossad directors. And while she was running Israeli companies that, quote, protect children online, her little sister was trafficking them. The twin Christine co-founded a company called Chiliad that built the FBI search engine after 9/11, letting them search across CIA and NSA databases. And Isabel's son got a job at the State Department under Hillary Clinton. I just think that's a lot of intelligence work for one family of book publishers. So Ghislaine moves to New York right after her dad dies. And within a year, she's with Epstein. And victims testified she wasn't just present, she was the one who found the girls, groomed them, told them it was normal. She would be warm and maternal, and then she'd be in the room while it happened. One victim said the damage followed Virginia into adulthood, into her sleep, into every relationship. Virginia fought for 25 years. She sued Epstein, she sued Maxwell, she sued Prince Andrew. She told her story over and over to people who didn't believe her. She died by suicide last April at 41. 3 kids, and yesterday her brother stood in front of Congress and read Ghislaine her last words. Trapped in a cage forever, just like you trapped your victims. And Ghislaine sat there on video from a minimum security prison camp in Texas, where she gets custom meals delivered to her cell and private gym time. And a whistleblower said staffer, quote, sick of having to be Maxwell's bitch. She got moved there right after Trump's former personal lawyer, who is now the deputy AG, interviewed her for 2 days. And she said very nice things about the president, didn't take the fifth with him, answered every question. But yesterday when Congress asked her the same question, she took the fifth on all of them, every single one. And her lawyer said she'll talk if the president gives her clemency. She'll clear Trump and Clinton both, so she's not offering testimony, she's offering a deal. I'll say what you want, if me out. And the convicted child sex trafficker is in a country club prison getting concierge service because she told the president's lawyer he's innocent. And the woman who spent 25 years fighting her is dead. I'm just curious, who exactly is being protected here? because it doesn't look like the children. I'm curious about Ghislaine.
I tell you, man, when they put it in song, it makes it just great, doesn't it?
But Virginia Giuffre is just a serial fabulist.
Yeah. All right, skip the one that says this one pissed me off. We played that one already. I got to bring Tim Dillon back. Tim Dillon.
Hell yeah.
Fucking nails it every time with
Sometimes all the world needs is a little more Tim Dillon.
Talking to I don't understand. Like, he's a millionaire, right? And he's like, obviously he's a successful person, but he still is so tapped into the average working person that it kind of blows my mind. And it's pretty like admirable.
It's the gayness.
Like, wow. It's the gayness. But so here's Tim Dillon talking about like just the average American.
Let's see if he knows what he's talking about.
Average, the best you can do in our country is to work in a Lowe's that is located in an outlet mall 45 minutes from your house and have a daughter that doesn't absolutely hate you. And you got a few nice friends at the Lowe's. You got a few nice friends. And you don't see each other that much out of work. You did one time, but it was kind of weird. You got a few of the guys together and you went to a restaurant. Google it. I'm not doing that whole thing again. But you went to Yard House and got chicken nachos, and it was fun enough. It was fun enough. And you kind of see a woman who you think might be seeing someone else. She said she'll never live with anyone else again and never get remarried. She put the boundaries up immediately, which you thought was a little harsh up front, but you kind of like it now. She's a little cold and stares off. She smokes a lot and says plans on stopping. That is the best you're going to do in this country, on average, for the most part. You work at a Lowe's and you're divorced. You date a woman who's a smoker and has no plans on stopping, and she says, I like waking up alone. Your daughter doesn't completely hate you. She pities you, which you think might be a little worse. But you're not bleeding out in the Gaza Strip. If you're lucky, one day you will be driving alone 45 minutes to work in a Lowe's. Your daughter will call you. She will say, I'm going away for the weekend, but I'll call you when I get back. I really miss you. I love you, Dad. You will say, thank you, honey. You will put your phone down. That smoker, that woman you're dating, will also call you. She'll say, I'm around tonight. That's as romantic as she gets. And you'll put your phone down. And you'll think to yourself, you know what? It's not that bad. And you'll never see the teenage driver coming. You'll never see the teenage driver coming. You'll smile thinking about your daughter and the somewhat mediocre sex you'll have with that whore later on. You'll never see that teenage driver coming. You'll hear the smack and you'll feel the glass. And a few of those shards of glass will get into your smile. But you went out nice. You went out good. And they'll wonder where you are tonight at Lowe's, but they won't call you. They won't call you. Your phone won't ring. And you knew they wouldn't call you. As you lay there dying, you go, they won't call. They'll just think it's one of those nights. That's the American win. But on average, the best you can do in our country.
He just fucking nails it, dude, because on average, that is.
Yeah. Just the thing that makes those little monologues that Tim Dillon does so well, it's always the little things that make them funny. Like how he has to point out that the Lowe's is 45 minutes from your house.
She's a smoker and she has no plans on quitting.
Yeah. Those are the things that make Tim Dillon so much different and so funny. It's always the little nuggets within those little monologues that are so great.
Right. It's like he literally had a conversation with this exact person.
Right
before he did this show. He was waiting in Starbucks. And he was annoyed because the air conditioning was a little bit too cold. And he was sitting there and he was already flustered, and he heard this guy like just the gruffling and making all these noises behind him. And then his daughter called him, and then it changed his whole demeanor. And so they got to talking about his daughter and about talking to him about his life and how he was on his way to Lowe's, but he stopped to get a coffee because he was up late the night before because he was waiting on this girl to come over who never showed and didn't answer his texts. But she just texted him, so he's happy. You know what I mean? And he just goes on and on with these weird little things. And while he waited for his name on his coffee cup, you know, just yeah, you get what I'm saying. I'm not as good as Tim Dillon. I have one more of Nancy Mace. She's talking about how
that hottie Nancy Mace.
How they're all like, I don't know, I'm on the fence with her. Like she's attractive, but also like kind of weird looking.
Very toothy smile.
She's lovely.
Of course she is. She's very lovely.
But here she is. She's talking about what happens when they go and they read the unredacted files.
And I'm assuming so I'm pretty tech savvy. I played around with the system.
That means she's
They're
not.
tracking every file that we open. And when we open it, they're tracking everything. And you can see the way that they're tracking you when you're logged in if you know where to look, like I do.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
How do you
I don't want to say because then I want them to hide it.
Right.
But I can see how they're tracking us.
Wow.
So they give each of us a login with their name attached to it, and every single file that we open, regardless of if we even read it, every single file that we open, that file is tagged with our name. So they get the search history and the files that we opened, everything.
How easy is it to even navigate? It's like, what's the
It's
physical
like a Microsoft product. It looks like Microsoft from '95.
Like a computer lab.
Yeah, it's actually kind of hard to navigate. So Microsoft from '95 was kind of clunky to navigate. This system is clunky.
Windows 95.
And Windows 90, it's Windows 95, and it's clunky. But by the second day I went today, I kind of got it all figured out and how to do what I need to do to find what I want to find.
Do you think there could be some court?
When you laughed about her being tech savvy, but then she was actually kind of talking about a little bit of technical stuff.
Yeah, well,
but then there's video.
That answers the question. That answers the question: who watches the watchers?
Right. Yeah, the watchers.
By the way,
watchers are being watched by the people they're watching. But what corroborates this, or solidifies it, or gives this any juice is someone like CNN. I think it was. They got a photo of one of the pictures of Pam Bondi's black book, her burn book they call it. They got a picture of one of the oversight committee's search history of what they were looking up. She had that in that book of what they were looking up. They're straight up monitoring what these people are even looking up. What kind of dystopian shit is that?
Why would you need to do that?
Why would you? Why would you need to know what they're looking up?
I think you know.
I think you know.
By the way, I was curious how old Nancy Mace was. So I looked up. She's 48. Some pictures popped up. She is racked up, man. What is it with politicians named Nancy and just huge cans? I don't know. I just don't know what it is. Just absolutely, just some.
You found yourself a new Nancy since Pelosi's leaving.
Yeah, just some raction going on.
He's talking about freedom, you fucking queers!
I didn't realize. I mean, I'd seen Nancy Mace before, but she does the Nancy Pelosi thing. She kind of, she keeps them scrunched up in there.
Yes.
Anyway, that's just a little aside about Nancy Mace's anatomy.
That's all I got.
All right. Why don't you tell the people where they can find us?
Okay. Libservative Podcast is found on all social media and podcast platforms. Our website is libservativeshow.com. We can be found at Libservative on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Instagram and Twitter at LibservativePod. Our TikTok videos can be found at Libservative Podcast, and you can reach out directly at libservativepod@gmail.com. Subscribe today.
And, you like the episode or any other episode, share with a friend. Helps us out a lot. We got some big changes coming, hopefully this summer. We've been saying that for like 2 years, but it's
We
real.
have.
There's physical stuff.
I actually wrote down a couple new names while we were doing this. So
Okay. Should we should call the show Nancy Mates' Rack?
yes, that's actually what I wrote down.
Raction. Anyway, it's been Absurditive. Intellectual idiots fostering political and cultural literacy. And the world's smartest internet show. For Bell the Bodysnatcher, he as always has been Corey Walsh.
He's been Dan Griffin.
And until next time, we are out of here.
I never had such a great assistant. I'm gonna call you the Goy Wonder.
Thanks. I'm just some cattle.
The great fundamental issue now before our people. We, the people, cannot turn back. Somebody must lead, or else the fight would not be made at all.